In this video, we're talking about email marketing, and we're talking about using newsletters to complement your marketing. In one of my other videos on email marketing, I discussed using autoresponders, and which is, if you haven't seen that one, you should look at that one as well. And the advantage, one of the things that marketers have said for eons is that it takes 7 to 10 touches, if you will, or putting yourself in front of people 7 to 10 times till they actually remember you. So it's important for you to keep on top of people, keep on top of it. Using an autoresponder is a great way to do it. Using newsletters, as we're going to discuss here, is another great way to do it. They both work. They're both of value. So don't and use both. Use both. Because your autoresponder has a message that you've created that you're using over and over again with people. The newsletter is a fresh thing that comes out based on maybe once a month or once every couple weeks, or when you have something to say. So don't use both of these options as part of your email marketing. So as I was saying, one of the challenges is that people forget. And they may be interested in your product or service, but they aren't ready to buy today. And so a month from now or 6 months from now, they're saying, hey, who was that? I know there was something. I mean, we've all done it. You're trying to remember who you heard from or what that information was, and you've totally forgotten. And so they buy somebody else's product because it pops up on their search engine, or however they get there, or they're in front of them doing email marketing. And they're asking the question, where can I find it? And they lost contact because they weren't ready. We weren't ready yet to buy, but we want you to keep in contact with us so that when we are ready to buy, which will happen at some point in the future, we have the information to do that. So the objective of newsletter marketing is to keep in front of your prospect and keep your product or service on their mind. Keep in front of them, because when they reach that decision that, hey, it's time to take some action, you're there, and they say, oh, that's the place. Yeah, we saw their stuff. We really liked it. We're going to buy that. Okay, so you need to ask yourself, how often do you want to contact them? And the first question is, how much do you have to say? Can you write an email a day to people and with new information, or are you kind of like me, where doing it once a month is a struggle to get to write new information, and it's something that's fresh. Your information, you can't just write the same old stuff over and over again. You have to come up with some fresh perspectives and so forth. Now, by the way, if you're doing a newsletter and you say something today, this month, it doesn't mean you can't reuse that information, say a year or 18 months from now, because by then it's either forgotten or it's a refresher of the information, and it clicks for them and is of value. And that leads us into the second question: is it a value? Is the information you're giving them informative? Is it actionable? If it's not informative and actionable, then you shouldn't be sending it, because then it's just blah, blah, blah. And that's going to turn people off. If you're just sending trash rather than improving your image with them, it's going to destroy your image with them. So you want to keep the information informative, and you want to keep it actionable. And finally, how often can you send a purely pitch email? And I've heard just dozens of different opinions on this. What seems to me to be kind of the appropriate approach here is, for every 2 emails that have good solid information in them, you can send a pitch, a purely pitch email. And by a pitch email, I mean you're selling, you're pushing one of your products, or maybe you're pushing an affiliate product or something, but you can do that, in my mind anyway, like once every 3 emails. And then in your non-pitch emails, you should have, again, if you have solid information and it leads into something where it makes sense to kind of pitch your product because it solves a problem that you've talked about in the newsletter, that makes sense as well, because you're really informing and educating, and then throwing a pitch in, and that to me is a good way to use the email, use the system. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this was informative. And if you have any questions, check out our site, www.reviewsforbiz.com. And there's all kinds of information there on various and sundry business automation tools.